So I'm working on the school bus here, and I came across a problem that I know a lot of you are going to want a solution to, and that is, how do you take out the handicap rails in these buses? Well, I found a couple different solutions. Come on in, let me show you what we're up to. So what we have here in question are these tie-down rails that they use to hold wheelchairs in and, well, whatever. Now, the problem with these, they are bolted, well, you can see the holes, every 3 inches or so, with this thing, hardened bolt, strong as anything. Now, one way you can take these out, put a wrench on this side and have somebody down below with a pair of pliers and unscrew them. That works great until they look like this. And every single one of mine are stripped and you can't do anything with them. So you have to figure out a way to get rid of these. So as you can see, I've been working this and it takes forever, and I figured I need to make a video of this because I know people are going to be struggling doing this. You can see another part of this disaster I still have to go through. So let me show you the little arsenal we have here. First order of business, drilling. This thing, you drill the tip like that, works very well, slow as anything. These are hardened bolts. They're not your normal bolts. They did not want any of these to fail for any reason, so they're strong. It takes forever to drill. What we're going to do, we're going to time this. We're going to try a whole variety of all these different things and see which one works best. And so far I have a couple tricks, and I even have one more trick at the end I'll show you for the final solution to see which works best with that. However, part of these tools you're going to want to need, number one, are safety glasses, because look at all this junk laying around. Every piece of this is flying and blowing around. Bits of metal, shards of metal. Hearing protection. These grinders, super loud when you're grinding on stuff. And breathing protection. Because, well, all this dust, it's not so bad when you're just drilling or running a Sawzall. But if you're going to start grinding, you're going to blow all this stuff in the air, and you don't really want to breathe any of this stuff. Next, you're going to need some hammers and pry bars. I even had a 3-foot pry bar. I just don't happen to have it in here. That works really well for, well, you drill through most of this or cut through a lot of it and really pry and pop some. That works. But anything you can get your hands on to beat and pry and cut. Some of this plywood was cut out of here with a skill saw. And then, well, now I can get underneath this, and I want to try a new little trick to that. I haven't done it yet. I'm curious to see how well it works. But let me show you, and let's get started with the drill, I suppose. I will pull up a stopwatch here, if I can figure this out. Stopwatch. Okay, we'll go with that. Now, let me throw on glasses because, well, you do not want to get a piece of metal in your eye. Trust me, I've done it before. It is no fun to sit there in a little machine while a guy digs in your eye to get a splinter out. So I have my hearing protection. I have my drill. You can put a little oil on the tip of the bit if you want. That will help you out. All right, we'll come back here. Let's see. This one's done. These are really tough to find because they're so full of crud. But there's one buried right there. And you can see, I mean, you're not going to get tools in there, and even if you did, everything's so rusty, you're done. All right. Let's gear up for this. And this is a new bit, so it's sharp. Hit the start button here. Okay, see, it goes quick just through that first little bit, no problem. But now, we have to really drill. All right, I don't know why that just went through. That hasn't happened before. That took 36 seconds. That wasn't your normal one, I swear. Here's another one. Let's try another one here. Let me take this off. Let's start another one over again. Okay. So now that we got that, let's try one more. Okay, went quick for the first bit. All right, I got the head off. So that took 18 seconds. That's not bad. However, you know, this is a good drill bit here. Let's try one more of these buried in there. We'll start it at 20 seconds and go. I guess there we go. So every 20 seconds or so. That's actually ridiculously quick for this. That's the fastest I've ever had this. I don't know why this is working so well, maybe because it's a brand new bit. They don't last very long, and now I'm able to get some of this out. So far I've had to pry and beat on things. Next, grinder. This thing, usually if you're gonna, I happen to have two of them. I didn't feel like running electricity up here at the moment, so I'm gonna use a battery powered one. That will work a lot better if you're doing a whole bunch of these. There is a multitude of different discs available. Thick grinding wheel here. This one's a little bit thinner, brand new. Cutting discs, very thin. You see the difference between a cutting disc and a grinding disc. So, and they even get even thinner. So, takes longer to go through the thicker one. However, you still have to cut through all that metal to get it to break apart. And it did work really quick compared to drilling. I'm surprised. I don't know. It seems to be working better to drill right now. So, let's try this sucker. Get going on that. Okay. Well, I sound like Darth Vader and I'm trying to do this, you know. Now put your glasses on and then put your hearing thing on. You're gonna look like a robot. Alright, now you're ready to go to work inside a school bus. With this on, you're out of your mind. There's got to be a better solution. Let's see what this does. We're going to cut right into that one. Reset, start that. We're right there, 2 minutes in. Alright. You know, it's probably cheaper. God, this thing's a pain. It's a pain with all this stuff on. It's probably cheaper to do it with this. Alright. Now that I stirred up all that in the air. And now that that's all stirred up, let's get the heck out of here for a minute. It's probably cheaper to use these than to buy drill bits. I'm still surprised at how quick that went with the drill bit. We're 2 minutes in and, well, still have a ways to go and you can't reuse the track. Let's try one other option here. While we're at this, we will reset this clock. Check this stuff out. I've seen some people ask questions about this. Why are my rails like this? Well, most likely, this is where the heating duct line is for your coolant to run to the heaters. There's a heater in the mid section and one in the back. So if they were leaking antifreeze ever on those lines, it would corrode with the aluminum and basically destroy it. Pretty cool chemistry right there. So that's galvanic corrosion. On to the next one. Now, this guy here, I've been wanting to try this. This Sawzall, awesome, cool, but this is for thick metal. It's an expensive blade, but I'm wondering how well this is going to work as opposed to. Okay, wow, carbide teeth and everything. So, on down here. Cool. Now, with this one, we're going to try going along like this. See if we can't get these bolts from the side. And cut. No idea how this is going to work. I haven't tried this. But I know these things cut through a lot of cool stuff. So if I can get under these and into the plywood and, well, sacrifice the plywood, I don't care about that. I want to get rid of these bolts. Let's see how well this works. So, all right, let's go. Ready? Okay, that was pretty quick. That was 6 seconds. Let's see if we can get through to another part. Let me grab my hammer. Two of those, and that was it. Blade barely, the drill bit barely didn't do anything. Look at that nastiness kicking it up. Alright, let's cut I don't know, that does not seem to want to go through that very well. Short of, alright, one for through there. At least it went right through the bolt. Let's see here, reset, and let's start again. It's going right through these suckers. That's awesome. 40 seconds. Let's get a little tension off of this so it's easier to cut through it. Okay. Whoa, we don't want to hit that. I bet you that was a cool shot. Alright, well, we're a minute in. We cut through 3 of those. This blade is awesome. I don't know how long it's going to last. It was $15 for this one blade, so it better be worth it. Let me stop that. Wow. Definitely want to have all your masks and crap on when you're doing this stuff. That's nasty. But so far that gets the win. Drilling worked well, but I mean, we got through like 2 or 3 holes, and now the drill bit doesn't want to drill anymore. So you burn through a heck of a lot of drill bits, and it's quick for a few. Yeah, it's still slow. The grinder makes a heck of a mark when you're grinding along with that. So far, my vote's for this thing. If you can get to it. I'm going to see if I can get to this easier. I don't know. Like I said, I had to cut all this plywood away to be able to get to the edge of this. So there's extra work involved with that, even though it's quick here. Still a toss-up. I have one more trick to try here. And take me a little while to get set up for this one, but I'll show you. And, well, why do you want to do this in the first place? I mean, this is a lot of work to pull this up. Can't we just leave this and let this go? No. And here's one of the reasons why. Well, you have rust underneath. You have other bits of everything. And somewhere over here, well, it's a little thicker there. Still, it's all plenty solid. I just cleaned it up, surface rust. But there was mold in one of these pieces of plywood. So, and this is not the best stuff ever. It's covered in, you know, kid puke and pee and grossness through the years and rot and mold and nastiness. So if you decide to leave that, well, you're going to build your whole school bus and still have a rotten floor. Pretty nasty stuff. So you kind of want to get it all out of here, and you can see we've from here, maybe halfway, I'm being a little optimistic. And, well, we can start with a fresh floor, completely take everything out and paint it. Then once we're done with that, we're going to insulate it. And that's why you really want to take this out, is to get some insulation on this. These buses, you know, they're not insulated really at all. You're meant to stay warm, kind of, for 20 minutes on your ride to school. And, geez, even then, you're already dressed to be outside. So this was all added. It's all cheap insulation normally. That's stuff like this, and you want to get rid of all that. But the insulation with the floor, without anything there, if you're sitting on a parking lot and the parking lot's 100 degrees, well, let's say it's 80 degrees out and the sun is baking on a parking lot, that parking lot's going to be ridiculously hot. All that heat radiates back up through your floor. So you want some kind of insulation there. Also, it's important, I mean, well, let me see. Right now where I stand on this, I'm 6'1", and I'm clearing this with 2 inches. So by the time I add some insulation, and then a subfloor, and the flooring, I'm right there. So, I don't know. You still have to get your stuff out of here. Definitely a lot of work. It's a pain in the ass, but let me show you one other trick. You're probably going to love this one. You've probably been wondering what the big last secret is of how to do this. Right there, folks. You're looking at it. This is oxygen and acetylene. It's cutting torches. So this has always been the best way to liquefy bolts and nuts that give you problems. Crank this sucker up. I like to call this my gas-powered wrench. And it takes care of all the problems that you usually have dealing with stuck bolts and nuts and problems of that sort. So let's break this thing out. And we'll see what kind of times this does. So we're going to start under the bus with this one, and we're going to cut the bottom of the bolts off. Let's find a good spot where we can get to it and see where this is going to work. Oh, okay, I have a bunch right here to make sure we don't hit any of these air conditioning lines. That wouldn't be good. A couple here. And we'll just start going and see what happens. Kind of dark under here. I hope you'll see stuff with the torch. So, with this, you want to make sure that you have one of these guys handy right here, and that it's charged, okay? I'm going to put up a video right here about my bus, and I almost lost it one day, and whew, close call, just getting the stupid box open. So make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy. Things do catch on fire all the time, so be careful. And, well, have your glasses ready. Crank up your acetylene here. Turn the oxygen on. There that goes. Nifty glasses. Okay, now I can't see much of anything, but at least I'm protected. We'll get these bolts up here. There's a couple of them. And so we're going to do these 2 bolts up here and see how long it takes to get this one. And there's another one on the other side here, here, a couple of those. So let's fire this thing up. Where can I put this last? Really? Oh, that's fine.
Let's get rid of the pistol.
And that one's gone. Just make sure it doesn't hit the line or you're going to blow up the line. I don't know what you're seeing, if you could see any of that. I can only look at it because I have these glasses on. Again, we're close to the line. Whew, make sure I'm on that. So it's a miserable job any way you look at it. Your best bet is to buy a bus that doesn't have this or is already done. Granted, okay, this one is a handicapped bus, so we're lucky to have the floor the way it is. Just heard tension get released. So we must have cut right through one of them. Okay, that's fun. Woo! It's blowing sparks everywhere. That's got to be free, and we want to make sure that's clear. So, here we are at this point. Gotta watch, man. You touch that thing, it's still glowing, molten red hot. That'll leave a mark forever. And you want to make sure you clean all these up so you don't drive over them. Well, we're 4 minutes in at this point, and I don't know, I have a whole bunch of them on the ground. And yes, I'm blowing sparks everywhere, and it's not the most comfortable place to be, but ooh, let me get out of here. Whew. Okay. Like I said, it's not the most comfortable place in there, but it's working, and I would say that's the best way to do this. I'm gonna go in and make sure the bus isn't on fire, but I always like to turn these off right away because if you forget something and you leave your torch on, you don't want to run your tanks out. But let's see. I can smell burning stuff. Obviously things are going to be burning through here. We have a rubber floor. We have a lot of heat. Yeah, I could feel heat a little bit through here. But so far, okay. Good. Got a bunch of those out of there and it wasn't too hard. So, that's a major toss-up. I really like this. This worked great. I mean, if you don't have a... Let me get you some light here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is one of the better things. Definitely a toss-up between the gas-powered wrench and the Sawzall. Both items are awesome. 15 bucks for the blade for this, and I've cut through a bunch of them. Still holding up pretty well, I guess. We're gonna find out. Now the other answer is, how long does the gas last as we cut through all these? I don't know, but if you have a good enough excuse to buy a torch, if you've wanted one, I'm sure you're going to find 100 other things to do with it. Well, for example, just dealing with any of this stuff. Might be making that, cutting that. Tons of things you can use a torch for. I mean, I made the whole boiler, our outdoor wood boiler. Check this video out here about our outdoor wood boiler. Pretty cool thing there. But the torch cut all the stuff with that. And once you get that, maybe it justifies getting a welder, and you can go from there. Overall, I would definitely go with the torch as the best way to take this stuff out. So right there are 5 ways to get these stupid handicap clips, or whatever you want to call them, out of there. Brackets, bolts down, handicap hold downs, we'll call them that. 5 ways to get these handicap hold downs out of your bus. Pain in the butt, any way you look at it. But come on, it's a Skoolie. They're going to be a pain in the butt. There's a lot of projects to them, and this is one of them. Get it done right, get the starting place, the foundation, exactly what you want it, because if it's not, you're going to build something that's garbage, and it's going to be rotten and moldy and nasty and gross just because you took the cheap way out. And later on in life, you'll be looking at it going, I wish I just did this right from the start. So there you have it. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Don't try this at home, even though, you know, I'm doing this at home. Ha! So there you go. Go out and have fun and enjoy your bus. Check out our other videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm sure you learned something here. And you have a great day.